Flosstube. My name is Marty. I go by Triple M Stitching here on the internet, and thank you so much for tuning into my video today. I have been gone for a little bit longer than normal, just crazy summer life stuff came up, but today we are going to be doing a WIP parade, so it's just kind of a review of all of the works in progress I have going for cross stitch at the moment. I currently have 11. And I'm really excited to show them to you today. Some of them are fairly old. There's one from 2020 and then several from 2021. I did kind of take around a year break from stitching and whatnot when I was moving and finishing my master's degree and stuff. So that will be evident in some of the older works in progress. But I hope you all are well and are working on something super fun while you watch this video. So let me know below what you're stitching on. If you're stitching on something while you watch. Some people have commented and said they were cooking yummy things, and that is exciting too. So let's start with, I have this lovely crazy stack behind me. We're gonna start with my oldest work in progress, which is Winter Sampler from Birds of a Feather. Here is the cover image. This one is currently out of print. I put like an in search of post on a comment on the ISO post in Stash Unload Cross Stitch Only on Facebook. And somebody really generously gifted this to me. So that's a good resource to look for patterns. This is in a project bag by, I believe, Lollipop Stitches. It is the Rifle Paper Co. Peter Pan fabric, so it's super cute. I am stitching this on, let me see if it says the fabric. Yes, Snow on Blue 28 count linen from Fabric Flare, so it's a printed fabric. And that's where I am so far. So I am very close to a finish on this one. Do kind of a scroll, and I love it so much. I love the way that dark floss pops on this fabric, and I love the deer. There was a while towards the end of when I was stitching and before I took a break, where Espresso Bean from Gentle Art was very difficult to find, and so I was kind of forced to stop working on this one. I think I would have finished it if that hadn't have, I ran out and I couldn't get more for a really long time. Pandemic problems. But this is definitely one I want to finish this year. I'm thinking about doing Sampler September, and so this would be a really good piece to work on for that. And I don't think it would take very long to finish at all. I do have to do the bottom, the ground, and that's kind of dense, but I think it'll go pretty fast. So that is my oldest WIP. I started that one on November 27th, 2020. I'll be referring to my stitching notebook here, which has a list of all of my WIPs. I don't have exact dates for every project, but I do have kind of an estimate. The next oldest, it seems like, is Scarlet Witch. Let me also fish out my iPad so I can show you cover photos of some of my PDF charts. Hold, please. I use Google Drive to store all of my PDFs, and I have just folders for works in progress, completed projects, things like that. So Scarlet Witch is by Abby Sue Designs, and here is the cover photo. I started this one around the time my husband and I were gonna do, I think it was the summer of 2021. We were gonna do Summer of Marvel and try and watch all of the Marvel movies that summer, and we got pretty far, but then new Marvel movies kept coming out and new shows, and so it took us a long time. But then WandaVision came out, and so that was really fun. If you like Marvel, let me know in the comments, because we watch a lot of it. But this is on Picture This Plus Dapple, I believe, in a 28 count linen, and it seems like I have thread still on the needle, and I don't usually leave thread on the needle when I'm putting a project away. I'll finish the color, but it must have been a hurry. And I'd like to get this one done soon. So here she is. I love her hair and her bodice. She's gonna have a lot of back, oops, sorry for the noise. We're gonna have a lot of back stitching to do on her as well. But I need to working on her for like watching Marvel movies and things was really nice because I had like a very concrete reason to work on her. Like I knew if we pulled out we decided to watch a Marvel movie that night, then that's what I would be working on. But now I don't really have that. And so I feel like I'm not working, like I don't think I've worked on her in a really long time. But I need to pick like a time to work on her. I think I'm also talking about plans. I think I'm gonna participate in Arbitrary August, which Sarah of Stitch and Mommy started, and yeah, so that might help me get some of these older ones out that I need like a push. This bag is from a seller on Stash Unload. I'm not sure if she still sells bags, but I loved the foxes. It is so cute. And then to organize my floss, I'm using this bendy flip, I think, from Bags Plus. It's Christmas themed, but it works. And I started that piece on June 16th, 2021. So it had a birthday last month. What's next? I think this one is kind of embarrassing that it's still a WIP. Let me sort through my pile here. And there is a reason why it's going so slowly, but I will explain. This is Sunflower Street from Stitching with the Housewives. Now I need to get my iPad back out. And truly the fabric is the reason why this one is going so slow. I started this piece on September 29th, 2021. So maybe it'd be a good goal to finish this one before then. It's very small. There's the cover photo. I love sunflowers. I love the houses. The colors are fun. I'm using a Bags by Wendy Toy Story bag for this piece. Super cute. It's because this is on black even weave, and I think I don't mind stitching on black Ada, but the jump to black even weave just like really did me in. I love even weave. I use it a lot, but I just couldn't, for some reason, it wasn't working in my brain. So here's my progress. I need to do the houses still. I think once I get going, it won't be too bad of a home stretch. But yeah, maybe having this done before it's September 29th birthday will be a good goal, because for Arbitrary August, I was thinking about doing like a random wheel and then having it and spinning it every 3 days instead of every 1 day, so I feel less chaotic about it maybe. But even if I have the wheel spin every 3 days, or every day, excuse me, I only have 11 WIPs, so I would definitely get several days on each piece. So maybe this can be an August finish. What do we think? I think it should be, but here we are. Okay, what's next? I think Santa Claus will be next. This is in a Dot Dot Goose design bag. It's Christmas themed. I intended to do Christmas in July. I really wanted to. I didn't really stitch the first half of July. We had just a lot of plans and travel and things like that. And I did some stitching on a piece that I'll show, but none of my like Christmas in July plans have yet unfolded. But July is not over yet. It's almost over, but I have some time. So I think I might pull this one back out once I wrap up the WIP I have going right now. That will probably be the last one I show. But this is by Stitcherovia, and it's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I saw somebody working on this. I think it was Julie Marie Does Stuff. Worked on this one and finished it. And I like bought it that day that she finished it. This is on maybe 32 count even weave in ice from Hobby Lobby. And I started this one on December 20th, 2021. And that was when we were living in the frat house, which is a whole saga, which I have talked about before, and I feel like it's kind of a confusing thing. If you want to know why we lived in a frat house for a while when we got married, maybe I can do a stitch with me. Just comment below if that'd be interesting. If it wouldn't, that's totally fine, but it is a funny story sometimes. Here's my progress on Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I love the colors. I love the way it looks on this ice fabric. It's pretty true. It is like it's gray, the very light blue gray. Does No Minder is from Etsy. And yeah, so I think this one might come out at the end of the month. And now there's a car alarm going off. I apologize if you can hear that. We live in an apartment complex, and somebody's car alarm has been broken for weeks, months maybe. And like it goes off every time they get in the car. And that's just like how they live their life, and that's fine. But yeah, we hear the car alarm a lot. So that was my last start of 2021. And then I do have one 2022 start. And then 2022 is like stitching desert. Did not stitch a lot. But I started one very large project that I kind of also want to work on this month for Christmas in July, that I'm starting way behind the curve on this Christmas in July thing. But this is Santa's Stocking by Doreen Jones. And yeah, I wanted to do a stocking. And this is the one I chose. It's very stitch heavy, as you can see, like in his robe and the snow and stuff. I'm really nervous about doing the letters at the top and centering them, so I have not even touched that area yet. Excuse me. But I really wanted to start a stocking. This isn't a big Stitching with Grammy bag. Barbara John's. Big bag. It holds my 8. I have an it's an 8x11 Q-snap that I made by taking an 8x8 Q-snap and 11x11 Q-snap and like Frankensteining them, for lack of a better word. So here's where I am in the view of the Q-snap that we have now. This is the present, and then I'm going to start going down on his robe. Is a lot of just straight line stitching, which is fun. If I'm in the right mood, it's really fun. And progress does go at a pretty good clip on this one because of the blockiness. There's some empty spaces here, and that's going to be gold beads, which I think are going to be really pretty. And I love this little bird. I love Doreen Jones birds. If you look at my Instagram or older YouTube videos, I do love Doreen Jones, and I love her birds. So, sorry, drink break. Let me see if I can take the top of this Q-snap off, and for the sake of the WIP parade, show you what I got. Ooh. What I got going at the top. It's going to be really wrinkly, but welcome to imperfect Flosstube land. So here's the whole thing I have. So I have from his hat down, done, and he's holding a tree, and he's got a mustache. He's very cute. Part of me, when I picked up stitching again and got back into Flosstube and everything, I was like, I'm going to finish him in 2023. And I don't know if that goal is one that I'm going to hold myself to. Just because I really don't want to like rage stitch him or hate stitch this piece just because I want it done. I had been working on it 3 days a month for the last few months. So I think I'm going to try and pick that train back up in June. And I think just like little bits of time keep me excited about it. And I put it down, not because I'm super annoyed by it, but I put it down while I'm still loving it. And that makes me want to pick it up again the next month. So that has been really working for me. And I feel like I see a decent chunk in 3 days on this one, especially if I choose it. If I do Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are usually days that I have some good stitching time. So if it's not done by the end of this year, I hope I'm at a place where I feel good about the rate it's going. I'm just surrounded by things at this point. So that brings us to 2023, because I started that on February 4th, 2022, and then I started potentially nothing else that year. Oh, now time is becoming weird. Actually, I think I have one more 2022 start that actually isn't on my list. I need to throw that on my list. And I don't know if I have a good picture of this because it is a freebie from Doreen Jones. Let me see if I can do a quick Google search for this. If you are not aware, Doreen Jones has a Facebook page, and she's a cross-stitch designer. Yes, found it. And her Facebook page has a lot of freebies on it that are honestly all super cute. And I have a lot of them saved to my computer cross-stitch folder. And so this is Autumn Cat by Doreen Jones. I started this in fall of 2022, I believe. Yeah. Because obviously 2023 hasn't happened yet. We're coming around. to see if I was like ready to get back into stitching. I need to fray check the edges of this. And I enjoyed stitching it for a little while, and then I just did not pick it back up. So there's my progress on Autumn Cat. This is on an MCG Textiles Mushroom Even Weave, I believe. And yeah, I need to maybe leave this out so I can put fray check on the edges. But I'm hoping to get this back out this fall and maybe get her done. She's not too big. This bag I got on Joy-Filled Stitchers D-Stash, but it has really fun kind of side-eyeing animals. And then I have another bendy flip for my thread. And like, I love this bag and this flip, and so and that's not a big piece, so I'd love to like free up these notions to use for other projects in the future, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay. Oh, I am just all over the place. This one was also started, I think, in 2021. I couldn't find a date for it on my Instagram, but that's okay. This is also by Doreen Jones, and it is called Haberdashery Shop. I downloaded it, or I originally sourced the pattern from a Cross Stitcher magazine, but because this piece is so detailed, Doreen Jones has now put this piece in her Etsy shop, and I think because originally it was in the magazine, and there's usually like a contract for designers who put in a magazine, like it has to be exclusive for whatever amount of time. And so now that time has passed and it's in her Etsy shop, and I would really love to have this as a PDF so I can zoom in a little bit more than I can with the magazine and maybe use it in the app Markup RXP, which is the app I use to track progress on Santa stocking. But yeah, this is Haberdashery Shop. It is big. I love the colors. I love the cat and the dog, and I think it's beautiful. It's definitely a long-term project. I have not worked on this in a very long time because I decided that to focus on Santa stocking as my long-term project, and then either when that one is done or I'm tired of it being my long-term project, I'll move to this one. So it's kind of on hiatus, but I'm still going to put it in my wheel for Arbitrary August. And I have like a very rip-roaring start on this. This is in the other 8.5 by 11 Q snap that I made from that pack of 2. But there's my start. I do love the banner. I love how the colors stitch up. I love stitching Doreen Jones pieces. I love her colors. But yeah, it's just on 28 count white even weave from probably Hobby Lobby. And yeah, it's a close-up. I really enjoy it, and I am going to put it in my Arbitrary August wheel and have it come up and hopefully get some more stitches in. I'm using a big Floss Buddy from Bags Plus for this. It's got Cat's End books on the back. If you're new here, hi. I work in the library field. I'm in like the local history department of a public library, and we do research and genealogy and stuff. And I love cats, and so this was perfect. I have all the floss in here for now, but I have like pilfered from it for other projects, so when I pick this back up, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do some floss hunting. But that's okay. What's next? What's next? This one is Be a Light. It is a dimensions kit, as things fall to the floor, that I started on sometime in April of 2023. I don't have an exact date, but there is the cover photo. I saw this on Jay's Stitching, Jay, on Instagram, and she has completed it now, and I immediately found it, I think, on Everything Cross Stitch and purchased it. And I have some pretty good progress. I worked on this a lot in the spring. And so here's where I am on that. I think I would like to finish this piece in 2023 for sure. This jar is going really well, and the colors like are amazing. And there is some backstitch, not too terribly much. The jars are backstitched. There's some backstitching in like the leaves and stuff, and then the words are backstitched across the jars. But that is a goal to finish for 2023. I already have a frame picked out for it. I got it in the thrift store. It's just like kind of a gray distressed wood. So once it's finished, it can go straight in the frame and start being displayed, and that's something that is really appealing to me. But I'm using, it's a kit, so all of the call for everything. And then this bag is artwork by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And it was made and distributed by the Black Needle Society in one of their boxes. I've never gotten one of their boxes, but they have like a online store where they sell the extras from those. And so that's where I got this. And it is super cute. And that is a favorite at the moment. I think just because it's kind of summery and it feels nice and seasonally appropriate. Next is Christmas Elf Fairy, who is in a farmyard bag from Dot Dog Boo's design. Not seasonally appropriate, but I love the bag. I started this piece on May 1st from Mira May because it is my first Mirabilia. That's what she looks like. I know Stitch and Mommy is working on this one this month. I'm not totally caught up on her videos. She could be done with it. But I'm hoping to do like 1 or 2 days on all of my Christmas projects before the end of the month, just to get back on that. And as I'm behind, but still get some goals done. I stopped on this one because I need to rip out this white that I have done. This up here needs to be ripped out because I was not paying attention, and I did some things that should be half stitches as whole, or quarter stitches as whole stitches. Hello Kitty Needleminder from Mad for Minders. I love the way her dress is stitching up, and I'm really excited to do her head and face and everything, but I knew if I did the exciting part first, I might not want to do the wings, and they have a lot of fill-in, so I'm going to maybe devote, just like tell myself that I'm going to devote 2 days in July to pick out that white and redo it in the correct fashion, and then I think I won't feel as much like negative feelings towards this piece once it's back on track. I do have a lot of Christmas WIPs. I just like Christmas, I guess. And yeah, I think there's just so many cute Christmas patterns. It's hard to not start a bunch, but I need to I think I need to finish at least one before I start another Christmas one. But keep moving on. This is called Life's a Beach. I started this one on May 16th of this year. It is in this bag, I believe. Oh, airplane flying over. Sorry if you can hear that. I believe this was from an Etsy shop called Stars Hollow Stitchery, and this is the Rifle Paper Company Beauty and the Beast fabric. I love this like portrait of Beast. So cute. This was a pattern. I've talked about this one a lot on my channel because I started it not too long ago. It is from, so I've talked about the origin of it kind of too. It's kind of odd, but it's from a Leisure Arts book, I believe. And I saw it first on Stitch and Mommy's channel on like an old video she did. And then I found it on eBay and I didn't know it was going to be from a book. But yeah, the seller, it was only like $2, like stapled together some pages of this book. That is the pattern I'm doing right there. Life's a Beach. Sorry. And it's been super fun for this summer. I am stitching it on 28 count Mint Jubilee from Zweigart, which I also got on eBay. And I absolutely love this Zweigart Jubilee fabric, and it seems like it's not really made anymore, so I feel this compulsion to buy everything I can from eBay, but I'm trying to restrain myself. Here is my progress. I think I have 2 bears fully done. Yes. 2 bears fully done. I'm working on the little lifeguard bear over here. He's very cute. But yeah, a lot of backstitch, kind of a different, I've done projects with a lot of backstitches before, but none in this like just straight outline style. And it really has been fun. So yeah, Life's a Beach, wrinkled fabric, cute bears. I think I was going to finish that one this summer, but I'm not sure. I'm going to kind of use Arbitrary August to be like my gauge of like what things are calling to me for the end of this year. Like when if I get in a good momentum with something, I think I'm going to kind of use Arbitrary August to set some goals for the rest of the year. And then I'm also hoping to finish a few things in Sampler September. So that's kind of where I am with that. I don't have a huge urge to start things right now. I really do love the works in progress that I have, and so that could change at a moment's notice, honestly. So we'll see. Last but not least is Molly Williams Homestead. This is a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, who is on Instagram and Blogspot, I think. And this, all of her charts are free or complimentary, which is super generous. And I saw this one and started it on Memorial Day on May 29th. It's called Molly Williams Homestead, and it is super cute. It's got the big flag, patriotic house. I love like the quilt stars in the side, little kitty cat in the garden, all of that. And I worked on this one around Memorial Day and also around the 4th of July. So that is, whoops, sorry, my progress. Mary Poppins is hanging out and helping me out there as needle minder. The house has been fun to stitch. I've only stitched like 1 or 2 houses before, and so I really enjoyed doing this. This will probably just be my go-to patriotic piece, like when patriotic holidays comes up, even like Veterans Day, things like that. And then I think it's also really good travel stitching. For 4th of July, we went to the mountains, and so I was able to take it there. And it was really good that we were sitting around with family because the houses have a lot of lines and the flag was a lot of lines. So, and it wasn't like ginormous like Santa's stocking is, which is also lines. Okay, last but not least, of course, this one is over here. Oh, that was in a bag that was also from Stitching with Grammy, Barbara Johns. It's like summer recipes and canning on the inside and then cooking on the outside, which I love because I do love to cook and bake and things. All right, this project I started 2 days ago on July 16th, which is the day before my birthday was yesterday. And so I started this kind of like, I had planned to do a different birthday start before. I kind of felt like I didn't want a big start. And so I ended up picking this instead because I have, hold on, pardon my reach. I have this piece that I did kind of when I first got back into stitching this year. It's Hello Spring from Stitching with the Housewives, and it fits in this little basket from Hobby Lobby. And I just had this up since it was spring and now it is summer. And so I decided I wanted to be able to change that out, and that motivated my new start around my birthday, which I'm probably gonna finish today or tomorrow. So again, not a huge birthday start, but this is Berry Blessed Roundabout by Stitching with the Housewives. I love strawberries, and that kind of would fit for all summer long. And so that is what I started. Here it is. Just on 28 count white even weave. Let me see if I can put something behind it. I love the colors, the kind of pop of blue. I still need to do all of the, I think it calls for Classic Colorworks Eggshell. I'm using a mix of the called for. If I had the Classic Colorworks, I'm using it. If I have the DMC, I'm using it. If I had neither, I just picked a different one. Because I started it like very last minute. I wasn't even gonna start anything, and then I like just looked over and saw this spring piece just sitting there mocking me because it was no longer spring. And so yeah, I bought it on Etsy real quick. And that is my last WIP. That is number 12. I said I had 11 WIPs in the beginning, but I forgot to count Autumn Cat, so I actually have 12. And I feel like that's kind of like probably the most I've ever had at one time. But I'm not overwhelmed by it at this point, and like I said, I'm not feeling a ton of starts at the moment. I'm kind of eyeing one start maybe for September. I can pull this up and show you. I have to Google because I don't have a cover photo for it. For Sampler September, I want to finish Autumn Sampler, finish Sunflower Street, which isn't super samplery, but I just want to finish it. But there's another sampler I have kitted up, and I'm kind of considering, I'm considering starting it, but the issue is it is a sampler, but it also is a Christmas pattern, which I literally just said that I wasn't gonna do. But I've had this in my stash probably definitely since 2020. And It's always called to me, but I have never started it. Oh, is there not a good... There might not be a good cover photo for it. But it's called Merry and Bright by Ship's Manor. I know Joyfilled Stitcher and Two Martini Stitcher have both stitched it before, so it should be on their Instagrams. But it's like a Christmas sampler with Ship's Manor, like hand-dyed floss, on like a navy blue fabric. So we'll kind of see how I'm feeling after Arbitrary August and Sampler September. If I'm feeling like a start, that's what I'll do for Sampler September. And hopefully Winter Sampler will be all done by that point too. So I think that's everything to say about my works in progress. Thank you for being here and listening. If you have any comments or things to chat about, let me know in the comments below. I talk about books sometimes. I don't have, I'll probably talk about books in my next video, but there is one I wanted to share because I was wondering if there is anybody watching out there that does this as well. This is a book I recently got by Sue Becker. I checked it out from the library. It's called The Essential Homegrown Flour Cookbook, or book. I was recently, with some birthday money, I bought a grain mill to mill your own flour at home. You just like dump the wheat berries in and it mills fresh flour. That has like a bunch of nutrients that are really good for you. Because like to make flour shelf stable, I'm not a scientist, but a lot of the nutrients are like sifted away, I guess. And so the flavor of fresh milled flour is also supposed to be really good. And so I've been kind of diving into that. I am waiting on my wheat berries to come in the mail. So if anyone knows what I'm talking about or mills their own flour as well, let me know in the comments below, because yeah, I'm like the only one in my family who has ever done it. So I don't have any like family recipes to fall back on. I have some online and I have my book, but I thought I'd just throw that out there and see if there's anybody to connect with over that new hobby. And I think that's it. Thank you so much again for being here, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully in about 2 weeks. So thanks. Bye.